Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're wondering what I'm doing or what's going on, it is May. I have some exams in May. So in the interest of revising, studying, and just saving general time, I'm going to be doing most of my videos like this month. Voiceover only. Seeing as a lot of people don't physically watch my videos, I don't think it's going to make much difference anyway. But this is just, for me, this is the easiest workaround so I can continue putting out videos, for your enjoyment and for my bank account. And I can also just get my revision done because not to complain or anything, but when I do my makeup for videos, I know it doesn't look like it, but it's a whole process and I need to make sure that wash my hair, and then I've done my skincare, and then I've done extra skincare, and then I've waited around for the skincare to sink in properly, to absorb properly, and then I do my makeup, and then that always ends up taking so much time, and then I film my videos, and then I have to transfer the files from the SD card to my laptop, which then takes several hours, and if I'm getting an editor to look at it, it then takes several hours to transfer over to them and then do all my editing. So basically, I'm just cutting out hours of the messing around. I call it the messing around stuff because I do feel like it's just you're just waiting for a lot of things to happen before you can even film your video. So I'm just reducing the amount of time that I waste. It's not really a waste, but do you know what I mean? Because instead of spending hours doing all of that stuff, I can just do this and then spend hours revising. And look, I'm not even getting into the video yet, but between us, I'm so sure I'm either going to fail or pass with a C. And if I pass with a C, not being funny, what is the point? Never going to get into uni and be able to do the degree that I want to do with a C. So going into it so negative as well. I think I'm doing philosophy. I think I'm going to do all right on paper one, hoping and praying that Immanuel Kant comes up in paper one because he is my dude. All the stuff for paper two, I just need to get on with it. Do you know what? I just need to get on this video, and because I only uploaded 2 videos last month, and that's not enough to live on, and that's not good content. So anyway, the subject of today's video, I know this is random, an Onision video in the year of our Lord 2025, 2025 years post the birth of Jesus. Can't believe anyone actually believes that. Isn't it weird how actually the year probably isn't 2025, is it? As in, not as in, oh, it's been 2025 years since Jesus was born, but more someone along the way probably miscounted, right? It's probably, when am I filming this? I'm filming this on a Monday. It's probably not actually Monday. It's probably Thursday, and someone just made a mistake. Anyway, I know, how random is this? Onision content, but that's because I became aware of a few new developments in the Onision saga. So I just thought, right, let's go to the source of where these new developments are coming from. Let's go through Onision's subreddit, which isn't his. I mean, if you look here, it's the official subreddit for keeping tabs on the individual known as Onision, but it's not supportive of him. Look at the banner, it says Ogresion. And there are some very interesting developments. So let's sort by new and let's just go through. Because the other day, I was just sitting on this subreddit for at least an hour, just going through everything. And then I thought, why don't I just make it into a video? Duh. Let's laugh at this together. Okay, so there's the usual stuff about Onision, being ratchet. But I think what's more important is, remember Kai, Onision's partner? If they're still together. I'm unsure whether they're still together, but Kai is now going by Lucas. Apparently, he and Onision appeared in court, and Kai said that their name is Lucas Jackson. Kai has, according to these TikToks, now transitioned fully, is medically transitioned, is using testosterone, etc. And Kai is going by Lucas. And here's the thing. I don't think reasonable people are going to disagree with me. To go by Kai's birth name would be to use a dead name, right? Because Kai does not want to go by that birth name that would be on the birth certificate anymore. But Kai changing his name to Lucas is clearly because there was this whole brand associated with Kai before that was Cool Guy Kai on YouTube. And then Kai got into a grooming scandal with his husband Onision, right? So Kai changing his name to Lucas, I don't think it's bad to still refer to him as Kai or use Kai and Lucas interchangeably, because it's clearly to disassociate away from the grooming scandal rather than anything else. And don't you find it interesting how like Grog has about 5 different names as well, and now Kai does, because it's not just Lucas either. People have discovered that Lucas Kai has a new TikTok account with one of their friends, and the TikTok account goes by Geo and Gage. And people worked out that this is Kai because, and this is so parasocial of me, I mean, there's one picture that was used of Kai in one of their TikToks, and I'd recognize the back of that head anywhere. That's so parasocial of me. But people worked out that it was Kai because, as you can see here, they've got the same tats. See, this is Lucas, the artist formerly known as Kai. Same tats. I don't know what the point of that one there was. But anyway, hey Reddit, there was a lead brought to attention not too long ago that Kai/Lucas has a new TikTok joint account called Geo Engage and making content aimed at trans/trans youths, which is important to note because Kai literally had a grooming scandal and groomed Sarah, who was essentially Onision and Kai's foster kid, right? Went to live with them while she was underage, and they ended up both having sex with her when she turned 18. So essentially they had sex with their foster kid, someone who was entrusted to their care. So is it worrying that Kai is now going, well, not even going as Lucas, Geo Engage, don't know where that's come from. Is it worrying that they are doing content aimed at trans youths, gender questioning kids, teenagers who might be more vulnerable than the average vulnerable teenager? Is it worrying? A little bit, I think. After investigating the information brought to us, I can confirm it is indeed Lucas Jackson. It doesn't need to be said that Lucas is a danger to anyone with a vulnerability of any kind and should not be lending advice and relatability to anyone. This post isn't to incite hatred or attack him, but to spread awareness that a predator is back on the platform, widely used by children and vulnerable people. Someone said I'm so confused on how their relationship works. I'm convinced they, as in Greg and Kai, are married out of convenience's sake, or it's as simple as Kai is trauma bonded to Greg regardless. I don't think they're staying together out of love. This is what I mean. Reddit request failed. Shut up. Since this post came to the subreddit, they have taken down their comments, so you can't comment on their TikTok anymore. I bet too many people were commenting something like, okay, groomer. Why is he starting to look like Greg? We'll get more into that in a minute, actually. Kai Lucas is Gage, who is the other guy, someone called Ryan. No clue. Apparently Lucas's best friend. They started transitioning at the same time, been friends for the last 10 years. I've no clue. And I'm really well versed on like the Onion universe. So I can't think of anyone that Kai was friends with for the past decade, because Onision likes to, he's a narc, right? So he likes to target a vulnerable person, isolate them from their friends and family. Like Kai went and moved out to be with him very, very early on, still technically a teenager. Onision wasn't keen on allowing them to, see their friends and family too much, especially their family, because Kai's stepdad had an issue with the Onion King. Duh, no shit. And then Greg always would like cry about it in videos, being like, oh, my father-in-law, who's a lawyer or stepfather-in-law, he hates me. Well, and it's like, why do you think he hates you, idiot? Anyway, after some sleuthing, that's definitely Lucas's TikTok. Just checked, neither of them will show their faces, but yeah, definitely Kai Lucas. Is it worth reporting the account? Unfortunately, he's not doing anything illegal or wrong, simply existing on the platform, and no one's innocent until proven guilty. Much like Greg, it's probably best to spread awareness that this person has been caught out being unsavory, is known to be a groomer. From Kai Lucas's TikTok, us now that being hot and trans is a crime. That's not the crime you're guilty of. You can see that like hashtag funny, they're hashtag LGBT. They're trying 24,000 likes. Wow. They're trying to put out content that's a bit memey And, you know, it's usually younger people and me who like memes. They also have an Instagram account. Here we go. Geo Engage is definitely Lucas. These 2 pictures alone had me convinced. Geo Engage. Look at that. I would recognize the back of that head anywhere. Remember once when Onision was shaving his head for one of his vlogs, and he was being really, really rough with him and proper I forget that you guys can't see me, proper just grabbing his hair and shaving chunks off of it. You could see that he wasn't very happy about it. But no, yeah, clearly Kai. Not that we need any more evidence, but same house for Onion and Geo and George. So Geo and I can't keep up. I cannot keep up. I'm tripping over my words. Right, these two. Look at the background. That is clearly Onion's house. Oh, God. Look at him. Look at the state of him. Jump scare. Signed, have a date night with your bestie. The account is just kind of, I don't know. It's very what's it called? Boy love. Anyway, yes, clearly we'll get to this video as well because it's pathetic. It's clearly the same how they're not even trying. They're not even. This is the. Oh my god. It's so. Should I even be laughing? Just the way that they cannot cover their tracks or keep their identities hidden. For the account, when people found it, had less than 1,000 followers, and they just couldn't keep their identities hidden for even. I don't know. These people, Greg, Kai, they're so stupid. They're just not. They're just low IQ individuals. I just find it funny. God damn, Greg aged poorly. His face is so lumpy. It's fine to make fun of. Don't make fun of how people look. Remember Greg's accounts where he would rate his own fan base and say if they were fat or skinny or what they were out of 10? It's absolutely fine to make fun of how Greg looks. That is a hill that I will genuinely die on. No, because you can bitch about his actions rather than how he looks. How about I do both? Actions and looks. Geo, George, pedo, groomer, what's the difference? Definitely still together. They really aren't the brightest bunch if they ever thought they wouldn't get found out. Kai's tattoos were always going to be a dead giveaway, plus recording in the same locations. Pete caught lying stone cold. We'll get into that as well because he's trying to reinvent himself as some sort of left-wing political as if anyone wants to go to Onision for political insight. Shut up, man. Yes, same clock. I agree they still live in the same house. Are they still living as a married couple? I doubt it. They're basically roommates now. Lucas brings in a friend and they play grab ass all day while Greg mopes around his shed and makes boring TikToks. Do you know what? It's obviously the downfall of Onision is so well deserved, but do you think he must... I don't know. I'm trying to see things from his perspective, not in defense of him, but just... How would it feel to know that you truly did peak? The best of your days are truly behind you. You're never going to be that successful or even financially secure ever again. And just all you've got to do to look at, because he refuses to get a normal job, right? He thinks he's too good for it. He refuses to get a normal 9 to 5. It's deserved. I don't care. I don't feel bad for him, but God, how miserable. They aren't divorced because it would mean Lucas would have to take the kids away and move back in with their parents and concede that everyone was right about Onision being the worst thing to come into their life. And Greg's main reason for not wanting divorce is he would have to pay alimony and child support for 2 children for over a decade. Remember the hissy fit Greg threw when he had to pay alimony to his first wife, Sky? Wow. Greg once said that top surgery was a deal breaker for him. While his misogynistic ass likes defeminizing his partners, he appears to be pretty aggressively heterosexual, and this definitely would be too far for him despite his queer baiting antics. Yeah, I'd agree with that. In one of the TikToks, there was a joke about Lucas's type being villainous middle-aged men, so they are definitely still together. Kai is crying, thanks. Hey, that was my video. Villainous middle-aged man, you and your husband are predators. I think this is just showing more proof that this is all within the multiverse of Grog. So this bathroom is the same as this one. And I don't... Is this the swamp? Is this where... I'm not doxing, surely. I guess this is Google Maps. Wait, did they get another dog? They couldn't even look after their other animals properly. Yeah, so the Snoot Squad is following Geo and Gage. Honestly, these people are terrible. They can't cover their own tracks that well, and they have every incentive to try to cover their tracks well. Like, I don't know, I can't help but relate it back to me in some way because this is my channel after all. But I'm very private, and I make sure there's no cross-posting of, you know, any like private accounts, social media accounts that I have with my public social media accounts. And you know what, guys? It's not fucking hard to do. It takes a certain level of paranoia, sure, but they just, maybe they want to be caught. I don't know. So, shared pet account between the two of them. This is Mello, Kai's dog. Should I click it? Oh, they've privated that, but this poster says, why is there a whole tray of cookies in Chloe's room? Why is the dog unsupervised enough to eat so many? Why has Chloe got a TV mounted right above her bed? Why do they have a camera fixated on where she sleeps? Why do they think it's cute to post how negligent they are? Because they're so parasocial, I don't think they realise it. A girl named Jessica, they attempted to have a poly relationship, described how bad it was in that house. A box of cereal had fallen on the floor and they had left it there for days until eventually the dogs had eaten it all. Another girl named Beck had an interview with Chris Hansen. She said when she was at the house, the dogs were clearly neglected and attention starved. Why am I so hungry? I think I've like Pavloved myself. Every time that I'm recording in some capacity, I start to get really, really hungry. Could it be that I've just had coffee today and a biscuit? No. It's Pavlov who is wrong. One night for dinner, they had Mexican food and Greg just threw scraps of tortilla on the ground for the dog's dinner. And when she gave them a bath, because they smelled so bad, the water was basically brown. These people don't deserve their pets. Yeah, they've not deserved their pets since Greg like starved his chickens or something when he was a little kid. Or that time that he accidentally, you know, baked his tortoise alive because he left him under like a plastic box in like summertime outside in the garden. Or the way that they had two older dogs. There was one little like brown sausage dog and there was one white sort of mixed breed. One of them, I think was the sausage dog, apparently would pee whenever Greg would go near her. Because it's not exactly a nice household to live in, is it? To have like a grown man always screaming and dressing up and throwing stuff over himself and just generally being a bit of a degenerate. So anyway, no, they should be banned from having animals and more kids. Another girl that lived with them for a while for a poly relationship / babysitting said that she had to use a clogged shower while she lived with them. There was always dirty water where she had to stand and an old face mask was swimming in there too. Can't remember which girl it was. Lovely. I don't even know about the guinea pigs. Don't know what that's about. Comments have now been turned off. I mean, it's only fair, right? It's only fair. After all of the body shaming Onision has done to so many people. Remember once when like he took screenshots of like a Shane Dawson video and then was drawing out how he thought Shane Dawson looked under his t-shirt or something. Very weird behaviour, Greg. Very strange behaviour. Onision is no longer the most masculine in the relationship. Kai Lucas Gage takes the crown. Is this a jump scare? This is going to get age restricted because looking at Onision like this is surely indecent. I forgot that there's this picture of him in the nappy. Greg, what is wrong with you? You are so weird. You're such a freak. I literally don't care if anyone cries in the comments about how can you laugh at people body shaming Greg. Go cry about it somewhere else. I don't give a fuck. That definitely seems like a healthy environment for their children. Nothing screams healthy and well adjusted like a house full of half-dressed men filming themselves. Oh, yikes. Yeah, because think about it. Greg's kids would be like, what, 10? By now? Wow, where has the time gone? Like the older one would be 10 by now. Never thought I'd see a post about how one of them is utterly mogging the other. The fact that this little worm was able to afford top surgery is insane to me and is currently making content preparing for another surgery. Yeah, they must be getting some money in somehow still, especially with how much medical bills cost in America. And Onision is so skint. Not skint. What's the word? skinflint. You know when someone's really tight with their money? Like my dad used to be tight with our money when I was little. I used to be like, Dad, please can we have Sky TV? I'm the only kid in class that doesn't have Sky TV. Back then it was probably like 20 quid a month as well. And he would say to me, young Alizee easy, go outside and look up. There's your Sky. I'd be like, Dad, no, why are you trolling me? I never did get Sky. Do you know what? Me and Rishi Sunak, we've got a lot in common. We didn't have Sky growing up and it was incredibly alienating and demoralizing. Anyway, I can imagine that Greg doesn't pay for his family to be on any kind of like medical insurance or plan. He probably just thinks, well, just stay healthy whilst eating junk food. He eats salmon now, actually, you know. He's not even vegetarian. I don't think he was ever vegetarian in the first place. Because someone who apparently went to high school with Greg said that he would sit there and yell at people and be like, meat is murder, and he'd eat a cheeseburger for lunch. And that's exactly the type of hypocrite I can so see Greg being. So I don't think he's ever been proper vegetarian in his life, let alone vegan. Anyway, yeah, I don't really buy the whole Greg made his partner transition rhetoric. Greg likes tiny androgynous girls and didn't want Lucas to get top surgery or go on HRT. No, I mean, Greg has a history of defeminizing his partners as a control tactic, whereas Lucas choosing to do this kind of stuff is outside the scope of Greg's control, I'd say. So Lucas looks like a straight up dude now. He found someone who fulfilled his fetish, as in Greg. Greg found someone who fulfilled his fetish, as now upset they deviated. Note, he still refers to Lucas as his wife in posts. We'll get onto this in a bit about the AI videos because it's very, very, very odd. Greg is fully attracted to women, has been very open about that. He used to go on about not wanting Lucas to transition or lose certain parts. Vegetarian body! No sharps box. They have children in that house and there's no safe sharps container. Not sure how often they have to use testosterone, but this container looks very full and probably should have been safely disposed of a while ago. The cap popped off. This is why you should have a sharps container. These people don't deserve their kids, I swear to God. Leaving second story windows unlocked, needles in an unsafe container. They don't have 2 brain cells between them to rub together and realize how stupid this is. I have a niece and nephews, but I always double check everything's safe before they come over. It's not that hard. Why wouldn't they just safely get rid of them if these are used syringes? Literally, Walmart or Walgreens has cheap ones. This is beyond irresponsible. Also, put it in the garage high up or something. Yeah, especially if, like, you know, the oldest one is 10 now and can walk around and be quite independent. They could find that so easily and prick themselves with used needles. You can literally get sharps boxes sent to you for free through so many websites. This is just pure laziness and neglect. And isn't it crazy? They're also parasocial with the internet in general. They have to live online and they just constantly air themselves out. I don't know, man. It's not hard to not look like a total idiot online. Decided to see if he's yapped about Logan Kai Gage's TikTok yet and was greeted by this. Uh-oh, bro. In one of Onision's accounts. Description: Sarah assaulted Onision and YouTube demonetized Onision. Why does he talk about himself in third person? He's so weird. Not me, but no, actually, no, because I was saying my dad used a quote and used my, so that's different actually, so he would come at me. After he was assaulted, Sarah preemptively ran a monetized smear campaign on Onision after she was rejected by Onision and had apologized for assaulting him twice. By the time Onision had the strength to talk about being a victim, if someone doesn't have any context for any of this, I look like a terrible person right now. Oh my God, Greg, the drama. So for anyone who doesn't have any context, this is just, none of this is true. This just isn't true. It's just not true. When Greg and Kai were getting called out for grooming and entering a sexual relationship with Sarah as soon as she was legal, Onision then tried to pull a Uno reverse card, no you, by being like, well, actually, she assaulted me. And it's just like, no, she didn't, Greg. No, she didn't. No one believed him. Onision being a man and people online being sexist / ageist. Oh my God, the way he just trying to shove every ism in there. What next, Onision? You're going to start saying people were being racist against you as well? Like, what next? He was mocked after he proved he was a victim. No, we didn't. Sarah apologized privately to him multiple times for assaulting him and publicly admitted to it as well. She described in depth her sexual extortion of Onision in her own live stream and publicly admitted she begged for forgiveness. Behave, Greg. Oh my God, he's such a twister. In another lifetime, he could have done really well as a lawyer, I think. Well, Not really well, but it would have been a natural career path, I reckon. The idiot masses took the side of assaulter Sarah solely because she is a woman and they hated Onision. Also, it's very normal for victims of people to like ask for forgiveness and have conflicting dysfunctional relationships with the abuser afterwards. So, you know, if Sarah did ask for forgiveness from Greg, okay, whatever, it doesn't really prove anything. Go to onision.com or x.com/onision for Onision videos. YouTube is a site that supports assaulters like Sarah and punishes their victims like Sarah's multiple YouTube doesn't actually care about who the hell is on their site, but Onision, you don't qualify for this. Sarah's multiple victims, Onision and his spouse, F YouTube and their disgraceful sexist/ageist Google employees. Why is Google now catching strays? Shut up, Greg. You're so delusional. Pisses me off. Don't react. He lives for look. Leave me alone. I like reacting. I think it's funny. Next time someone asks what Darvo is, I'm showing them this. There's no way he doesn't fully believe this bullshit himself at this point, though one does have to marvel at the consistency with which he's been repeating the same lies over the years. If at first you don't Darvo, then try again. Mentioning assault in your YouTube description multiple times is a great way to reduce any potential ad revenue for your entire channel. He wiped the entire channel, probably because this is the one he'd rate minors on. So sleuths have worked out that I don't know who's Geo and who's Gage, but the person on the TikToks with Lucas is, I don't know, one of his friends called Ryan or something. But their previous TikTok had, you know, posting my house husband routine until I buy my wife a car. Because apparently he moved in with Greg and Kai, trying to buy a wife a car with TikTok money. Dude, get a job like the rest of us. No wonder he's friends with Greece's other half. He tried being an ABA therapist. Crazy. Therapist. Greg needs therapy. And a realtor already. Got Lucas a job at the same therapy office after Ryan got his license. They were quick to let them both go, though. Yeah, that's crazy. Lucas apparently had a brief stint as a therapist and like working near children or something. Wild. Evidence of possible grooming coming from Kai, Gage, Lucas, and a screenshot. Found out by the account yesterday, took upon myself to do some digging. Immediately went through their follow list and found that the account is following lots of teenagers or just very young people. I'll try and include the screenshots. So the aforementioned account's bios. So 18, 19, 15. There's too many others. You can check this just by going through the following list as well. You'd think he would have learned his lesson, that it's made apparent that they both just can't help themselves. Quite ominous behaviour, innit? Hence why I wanted to do some of this video. Now, moving away from that portion of the video, let's just look at some funny Greg moments.
Fucking evil. Oh my God, you guys. He's not dumb. A person is what they are primarily, okay? He's fucking evil.
Not aging great, is he? A person is what they are primarily is such a weird statement. He totally thought that and went, wow, I'm so deep. Bro, you look like all those JD Vance memes. Onision also has a TikTok where he frequently changes the name for some reason. Who knows? Who cares? Interviewer, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Me.
Taking every moment with feeling sorry for myself, generally wanting to unalive every day. Taking every moment with my teeth clenched and sweating from every part of my body. Waking up screaming, you know.
I ain't saying a word. I'm not not saying a word. What can I say, dude? You've dug your own hole. Bro, how are you still doing edgy atheist content? Like, no one cares. That's so scary. It's like, you know, those paintings where like that you feel their eyes follow you throughout a room. Oh, go away. Comedy sketches are so lame and old. No one makes them anymore, which is why your videos bomb. Every other sketch comedian bought another mansion, guys. Thanks for the views. Greg, no one likes your content because it's shit. like that's it, bro. That's all. Okay, whatever. Oh, he does make me laugh in a strange way. He really does try, doesn't he? His content stays exactly the same, but he never gives up. I mean, his content is actually even lazier now if you think about it.
I saw edgy!
You're acting like a jerk.
Oh, so I'm a jerk now.
No, you're acting like a jerk. It's totally different than
Wow, his hair was a lot better back then.
literally being a jerk.
I can't believe you think I'm a jerk.
What are you doing?
Hello, friend. I secretly call all the time to talk crap about Greg too. Guess what Greg called me this time?
You know what?
Onision uploading loving and respectful old skits about his spouse to TikTok. Hell is being trapped in the Onion household. I'm convinced.
I have...
Turn off the lights after you leave a room.
Maybe because I'm afraid of the dark?
Doesn't respect me, Jesus Christ. God, he's so weird. He's so... Look at him. Look at the state of him. He's so weird. He's so weird. Political analysis and breaking news with commentary from a naked 40-year-old man taking a bath. Oh, dude. Can I suggest some type of calming serum? If you have rosacea, I have a bit mild rosacea. There are laser treatment, IPL is it called? There's some laser treatments available to help calm it down. But can I suggest some Korean calming serums? Beauty of Joseon does some. They're quite good for red and inflamed skin. Greg, can I suggest that? Also, can I suggest a little bit of exfoliating, but with a mild, gentle exfoliator, Greg? Look, I'm just trying to help you out. Greg, the great autism advocate, has forgotten that he refused to speak to his daughter because she couldn't interact. And when Lucas confronted Greg about this, he mocked them in a thinly veiled comedy skit.
There's something wrong with them, and there's nothing wrong with them. There's everything wrong with you.
Oh, shut up, Greg. I don't need to be spoken to this way.
Typical kid. It shows how uneducated you are.
Is he talking to himself?
Just because one actually talks to you and the other has snot all over their face all the time and screams a lot doesn't mean you can talk to one more than the other.
I don't want to talk about
Yes, but if one says stuff to you, that doesn't mean that they deserve any more attention than someone who just says gaga gaga all the time.
Yeah,
Wow, imagine saying this about your own child.
I just want to have a relaxing night and not do this.
We need to talk about this. It's a big deal.
Yeah, no, actually it's not. When the other one can talk, yeah, well, but you know what? I'm not talking about this.
Announcing a child's medical diagnosis online for attention is actually the opposite of showing them respect. Never forget, this is the same child he let fall out of a 2-story window and had a vacant reaction when the police showed up to file the report. And remember when he was in the hospital waiting to find out how his child was, he was busy sexting publicly on Twitter with himself. Okay. Welcome to the umpteenth rendition of Gerg being unable to move on from Sarah, Shiloh, and now Regina, and repeating the lies he told before. I think he either still thinks if he repeats it, people will start believing it. He repeated them so often, he believes it himself. I lean towards this one. I lean towards this one too. I think he thinks he's right. So there's a video, 32 minutes of Greg repeating the same old lies that is repeated ad nauseum, in between asking for pity, then berating / belittling the audience, business as usual. Yeah, mate, people are really going to want to give you like that $5 if you just insult them a little bit. Actually, Greg, have you considered being some sort of dominatrix? I'm not sure if you would have an audience for it, but you know, the type that has what they called like cash pigs? Have you tried doing that instead? However, there are some juicy tidbits in here that weren't a bit of a too long didn't read. I'll skip the obvious stuff for brevity. First off, Greg is broadcasting from a bear cot in the basement. There's a pillow but no sheets, nothing. He claims he's lost $20,000 in the legal battle so far. Boo-hoo. Claims he had never heard of Regina before the lawsuit and that his former lawyer followed Regina to a sex club. Even if that was true, so what? Gerg claims he has made a shit ton of videos helping a shit ton of videos helping people with anti-self-harm and anti-starvation videos. Guess he forgot of all the times he made fun of Eugene Nakumi's eating disorder. All right. Greg, you've not helped anyone. Like, the type of emo and it's as a former emo 14-year-old who will say to you things like, Greg, your video about, hey, just stop hurting yourself, yeah, it saved my life. They're just saying that so you give them okay, sorry, don't get mad in the comment section, but I feel like most of them are just saying that to maybe get your attention in the first place. Because I used to be a little bit like, oh my god, guys, My Chemical Romance, like, their music just saved my life. And it's like, I mean, maybe to me at the time it seemed valid, because I was a hormonal emo teenager. But me as an adult, I can look back and be like, yeah, right. Anyway, he calls Sarah, among other things, a bitch, crazy, pathological liar, a manipulator, a assaulter, a scammer. He likens Sarah's desire to censor him to Donald Trump's censoring of the media. He's so funny. Oh, the worst people are just the funniest, I think. It's the delusion for me. Claims Sarah scammed $1,250, oddly specific. Am I missing something here? Says she probably spent it on cocaine because she admitted to allegedly snorting cocaine while waiting tables in the past. Claims all this is happening because he's a cis white male. Oh, shit you not, he goes there. Well, look, dude. Whoever wrote this post. I mean, it was about time he brought that one out, right? I can't believe he's doing a left-wing grift. When's the right-wing grift gonna start? Because I want to see that. Now, he mentions among all of this that all the backlash he got for his bullshit hurt his children, his innocent children, who he obviously cares a lot for, when they're not, being ignored, not spoken to, or falling out of windows. But then, I shit you not, he follows it up with, and then, when my daughter got injured because she had pushed, it was a horrendous event. None of you checked on her. What? Greg, I remember doing a video about that actually, so shut your mum. I guess he was too busy filming her on the ground to have evidence. Sorry, I shouldn't have sounded so jovial then, but I was just laughing at myself saying shut your mum to him. I guess he was too busy filming her on the ground to have evidence for the cops and tweeting pseudo BDSM smut bullshit to maintain an online image, his words, whilst his daughter was in hospital. Now we are supposed to believe that the people around him, the YouTubers who made videos about the incident, hello, it's me. I wonder if they even know. I'm like that meme. They don't even know I am like thing at the party. I wonder if they even know that AR is one of those. So many YouTubers have made videos about Greg. I really feel like no one knows or cares about me. I wonder if they even know that I'm reading this now. Literally no one cares. Never asked how his daughter, and he, in his words, command people to ask how his daughter was. Assorted, unself-aware moments. It's so hard to follow the lies of a pathological liar. Greggy, Gregos, Gurgle, Gurglot, Grot, Grime, Grimy, Grim, Greg Sausage Roll. No, actually, that's a compliment. The call is coming from inside the house, babe. You can live in whatever fantasy world you want, Sarah. Imagine changing your story and expecting to, be taken seriously. I've taken accountability for things that have actually happened. You guys will never take accountability for what you did to us because narcissists, sociopaths, psychopaths, and people who are insane and in love with themselves like you are, people like you don't change. You'll be horrible forever. He's kind of incredible. Actually, if I wrote this dude as a character in one of my satirical works, people wouldn't fucking believe it. They just wouldn't. I'm kind of in awe, actually. Greggy Man, James, Onion Boy. I remember when the report leaked, you said nothing about her fall. All you did was do weird BDSM tweets. He displayed some crazy narc tendencies in this one. He said Regina watched his anti-harm video and apparently said it saved her life. Greg said, how can you do this to someone who saved your life? Because your spouse groomed her, Greg. Weird God complex. Because Greg made a video that helped her through a rough time, she owes him something. He is the most disgusting, dangerous predator. Just so you know, psychopaths / narcissists like Greg don't actually believe themselves. I used to think they believe their lies, but after seeing so many of these people under polygraphs and interrogations, you learn fast that they do, in fact, know exactly what they're doing and they enjoy it. That's interesting, isn't it? I guess I just can't really imagine, not to be a pick-me, right? But I don't lie. I might do a white lie here and there, boyfriend rings me out to be like, oh, have you done any of the chores, the housework that you said you'd do, if he's like coming home from work, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, definitely, and then I'll hang up quick and then quickly like wash some dishes or whatever. I do some white lies, but I am actually not to be like Onision, I am the most honest YouTuber. I'm quite honest about things, so I just can't really imagine like any of this. It's not even a moral value of mine to be honest. I just think the opposite of honesty is dishonesty. It's to lie, right? And what a load of aggro. Like, I can't be bothered to lie and make things up, generally speaking. I can't be asked. Because then you have to remember exactly, because, you know, the truth, the objective truth, not hard to remember it. Well, I'm nitpicking myself now. Yeah, bar some sort of extenuating circumstance, it's not hard to remember truths, even though memory is a bit subjective. Whatever. Regardless, it's harder to remember all the lies, isn't it? But then if he's enjoying it, I just can't reimagine it for myself. Anyway, so the claim that Sarah scammed $1,250, the GoFundMe for the laptop. Greg thinks that because she got more money than she asked for, that's somehow a scam. No, Gargles. People chose to continue giving her money because they hate you. A similar situation happened with Repzion. Greg is stretching the definition of a scam to peddle a narrative. A scam requires deception. The goal on the GoFundMe's was already set, and everyone who donated extra was notified that the goal was already met. Speaking of money, he lost $20,000 in the legal battle so far. My ex-wife stole all my money through alimony. Now I own 2 giant mansions and own hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of video and musical equipment, and I own a $15,000 desktop PC, and top-of-the-line gaming laptop, an $8,000 video camera, and $2,000 video camera, and 2 over-the-shoulder video cameras that each cost around $9,000, $10,000, and I own at least 2 Teslas and a big van. The IRS stole all my money, so I made a profit on the sale of my 2 giant mansions, and now I own a different house, still full of top-of-the-line gaming, video, and musical equipment, totaling at least 6 figures worth of American dollars, and I put millions of dollars spread out between dozens of shell companies. One of the signs of a cult leader, constantly complaining about a lack of money despite having an excess of money. Wow. Shell companies. What's this? Depta 1, James Jackson. Depta 2, Lucas Jackson. I'm not good at this. $200,000. I'm not good at this kind of stuff. I'm sure. Let's go in the comment sections, because I'm not good with that type of stuff. Right. In honor of Sarah Regina issuing a summons for Greg's shell company, Nessia Motu. The hell is that? 5 years ago, Nessia Motu. Can someone please tell me about Nessia Motu and what it's really about, and if it's really shady and illegal and has any associations with a yikes ring? I watched a video about it and how Greg has ties with it, but I still couldn't understand what was going on, and it has anything to do with the IRS. So it's said to be a shell company, so basically a company that exists on paper but does not provide any services and is used to store funds in. Okay, here is some info from his bankruptcy case. He was supposed to report all assets and income, and at the time, late 2023, Nessia Motu had around $250,000 left. Will be interesting to see if it was a lie. Another filing, Greg reported he received $2,000 per month for his shell company, so he's basically just paying himself from Nessia Motu to keep assets in the company instead of his name. Interestingly, Kai was receiving $3,000 per month from their job at Resource Management Inc., which I think is some type of cool center-based job based on a quick Google search. So Kai became the main breadwinner. Wow. He got all that money from false copyright claims. Better not copyright claim this video. $700 a month for medical care. Do you think it's related to Kai's transition or their daughter's disabilities? He mentioned that one of his kids goes to therapy a while ago. It could be either of them, possibly both. His son has anger issues and is very violent, according to people who have visited the house, and his daughter suffered brain damage and has disability. Is that from the roof? Oh, God. Anishan's new job and tattoos. It looks like Greg's still useless, so he's trying to sell shirts to TikTok. No surprise their shirts a teenager would want, but it looks like he's modelled a corn shirt and showing off a bunch of new tattoos. No, that's Kai, innit? He's allegedly bankrupt, but still getting unnecessary and ugly ink. That's Lucas. That's Kai. So maybe they are still together. And finally, Anishan's obsession with AI art of old partner makes current... I don't know. It's messy. It's all messy, right? Apparently this image here is from like their Zoom court case or something. I don't know. But Onision bot, so just Onision, has been uploading like images of Kai pre-transition and there's a few of them. It's not just this. Imagine being with someone who is so obsessed with your past self that they can't let you be happy now, but alas, that's always been Greg's thinking in relationships abuse the partner. Onision's Game of Thrones music video has AI Kai pre-transition throughout, but no sign of Lucas. Like, Onision is the one doing this. It's so weird. It's so weird of him. Lucas is crying now, thanks. That should be the name of my video. My new one. This one. I know we are all used to his craziness, but I just had a moment to go, what if my friend's boyfriend was doing this? And my instinct was to say, bully and leave him, because what the hell? Think of the penguins, you piss kidney. I bet Lucas is glad they helped Greg lure teenagers into their bed now. This is weird and creepy. He's always been a creep, but at what point do you go, this is weird and unhinged and you've had enough? And there was this one as well, Onision bot, written by Onision, I'm so emo. And again, it's Kai pre-transition with AI. He's been doing this weird thing with AI pictures of Lucas presenting as a sexy feminine girl with makeup and clothes and long hair as well. I think it's yet another way of abusing Lucas mentally. Then there's some personal conjecture here that I'm not going to get into because I'm not stupid. Now that Lucas is masculine, Greg tries to put the idea that they're still not good enough by presenting hot versions of their old identity. Greg is evil. In my unprofessional opinion, he puts videos out like these on purpose in order to take pot shots at Lucas. He knows that Lucas is going to see it. It serves as a way to subtly manipulate and control his behavior. In a don't cross me or you'll get blasted all over social media for all to see kind of way. It's a purposeful hit at Lucas's self-esteem. He used to do things like that all the time in his YouTube videos and on Twitter. Yes, he did. And they've made several videos together where Lucas would express their enjoyment of something and then Greg would immediately shit on it. Music, movies, makeup skills, how messy they are, how shitty of a parent he thinks Lucas is, etc. Then there's a bit of conjecture there, not going to get into it. The two of them are trapped in this endless loop of suffering together, and honestly, they deserve to be miserable. And apparently a new identity and name has been unlocked. So anyway, that's my deep dive into the Onision subreddit because I'm fed up of looking at these fools. So Onision is more unhinged than ever, and Kai might be up to old tricks with trying to target vulnerable LGBTQ plus teens. So that's great. Nothing ever really fucking changes. History just repeats itself. That's all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. What do you think? Let me know what you think in the comment section below about all of this. It's so messy. And I will see you all next time. Goodbye. Remember to like, comment, subscribe.